principal at River Heights Intermediate School. I want to thank everyone for joining us, and here is a little bit about our Colts Way, our communication, and high expectations we have at River Heights Intermediate School. Thanks for joining us.
This morning I'm so excited to get to share this Colts Way presentation with you. I have a lot of really important information, and I'm so happy to see so many of your smiling faces. I really missed that I didn't get to see you coming in this morning for checking for masks. I was getting prepared for this, so good morning to all of my friends. I'm really happy to see you. So we're going to get started. Today's presentation is about the Colts Way, communication, and high expectations. So, the Colts Way. C is for compassionate, O is for outstanding, L is for leader, T is for tenacious, and S is for scholar. We know that sounds fantastic and big words, and it looks great, but what does it mean? That's what we're going to talk about today. What does it look like? That's what we're going to talk about today. So, all right, I want to introduce my special guest, Mr. Tenacious. He was one of our He is a very humble and very shy counselor. And if you need anything, you can always go to him. We also have Miss B here. We share with another school, and she will be here in a couple of weeks, okay? So if you need any type of support for academics, emotional support, just say, hey, I need to talk to somebody, Mr. Clampett is it. Or you can go to any adult, and we will make sure that you get the right person to talk to, okay? So the first thing we're going to talk about is compassion. What is compassion? Compassion gives us the ability to understand someone else's situation and the desire to take the action to improve their lives. Okay? Compassion is the first thing that we talk about in the Colts Way because it's very important. If you want others to be happy, practice compassion. If you want to be happy, practice compassion. It's kind of that idea where, you feel just as good giving as you do receiving sometimes. And so it's that whole idea. It's also the idea that we have so much to give. Everybody has strengths, everybody has kindness, everybody has love in their hearts, but right now, the world is a little bit crazy and ugly. And so we want our Colts, our River Heights Colts, to be able to share that with each other, especially when you're at school. So just being compassionate is, sometimes we need to know each other's stories, right? We don't know what's going on at home. We don't know what's going on before school, after school. And so being compassionate, one of the best things you can do is learn about people's stories. So one of the examples that I like to give is that when you're in middle school, you may have a friend and you may have a conflict with a friend. You may have something that happens with a friend. Most of the discipline that I see throughout the year happens when there are things happening between two friends. So, we can deal with these in many different ways. We can resolve conflicts by talking it out. We can resolve conflict by maybe giving each other a timeout. But if you know their story, it's much easier for you to be able to talk and resolve things. Okay? Next one, Mr. Piper. So, why outstanding students? I'm going to let Mr. Clampett talk about why should you be outstanding?
All right, good morning. So, more than anything, educators want to see growth and improvement. Okay, that's what we want to see. Now, there's certain ways that are going to facilitate this or make this a little bit easier. We call that ways to be outstanding. First of all, is if you don't know something, ask a question. That's real simple, right? But when you're 12 years old, it's kind of hard sometimes. I remember when I was 12, I didn't like to raise my hand. I didn't like the attention on me. So I know that can be difficult. So say you're in the middle of the class and you don't understand something, if you're really shy about raising your hand, maybe you could email the teacher, maybe talk to the teacher after class, set up a time where you can meet with the teacher privately. Because I know, as adults, we aren't your age anymore, obviously. So I was trying to think about, okay, when I was 12, what was I like? I was shy. So I get it. If you're shy about raising your hand, it's good to just figure out another way to work with your teacher. So be positive. You're going to have ups and downs here. Hopefully more ups and downs, but you may have some downs. You may have some struggles. So try and stay positive. If you need some help working through some things, by all means, seek out one of the counselors. You know me now, Miss McClendon. Mrs. B will be here, I think, about 3 to 4 weeks. She's really cool. And I also have an intern, her name's Serena, and she's starting on Monday. So I'm excited about that. So the way you see it, there's QR codes all around campus. Our website, I'm sure there's a link in the electronic planner for you to see one of the counselors. So you fill out the referral, and then as soon as I see it, I'll figure out when to see you. Usually it's pretty quick, unless I'm swamped. It might be a little busy since I'm pretty much by myself now, but I'll see you as soon as possible, okay? I promise. And then we keep things confidential. There are a couple exceptions to that, but I can explain that when you come see it in one of those. So, complete your assignments. This is real important, establishing a routine. If you don't establish some type of routine, that can lead to what's called procrastination. Procrastination means you're putting things off to the last second. So if you have a test on Monday, some of you are studying Monday morning, some of you are studying late Sunday night, some of you are studying right before the test in class, so you have to come up with some type of routine. And usually the best way to do that is to have a certain time of the day where you do your homework. Whether it's 5 to 6, some of you may want to do it as soon as you get home, like 3:30 or 4:30. Some of you may want to watch something on TV or get something to eat and then do it, that's fine. But try and have the same time every day, because what that will turn into is what's called a positive habit or positive routine. You don't have to think about it. Every night at 5 o'clock, you're hitting the books. Follow directions. This is sometimes hard for some of you guys. It's listening in class and maintaining focus. Sometimes you have to force yourself to do that. Not that this ever happens, but sometimes the teacher may not be as exciting as you would like. So you kind of have to force yourself to pay attention. It's benefiting you. Read, set goals. Quick thing about goals, there's long-term goals, which would be maybe you want to graduate college someday, maybe you want to be a counselor, teacher, lawyer, doctor. Those are long-term goals, something's going to happen in the kind of far away future. But there's also short-term goals, which you could set one today. For example, you're going to go to every class on time. You're going to sit in your class and you're going to do your work. You're going to get all your assignments done. Those are what's called short-term goals. They're usually the same day or a week or two away. That's kind of important. Stay away from trouble. Now, I'm glad you're sitting down. This may shock some of you. Everyone sitting down? Sometimes we have drama on campus. I know, Mrs. Sanchez can't believe it. Sometimes there is drama. Usually the drama, which I dealt with, it was yesterday, on Instagram or some social media. I know that's shocking. Absolutely shocking. But try and stay away from the online, the social media drama, okay? That's a big thing. Don't go back and forth with somebody. If it turns nasty, if it turns bad, just turn it off. Ignore it. Don't get into the name calling. We already talked about organizing, and in order to get good grades, decent grades, you have to study. Just like if you were an athlete, maybe you're a basketball player, in order to get good at athletics, you have to work at it. You have to, quote-unquote, study. If you want good grades, you got to study. You have to try. You have to do your best. You have to work at it. Any athlete has worked at it. It's rare that, someone just can run the 100-yard dash in 9 seconds flat and never train. You have to work at it. I can fight that.
Thank you, Mr. Condit. All right, why student leaders? It is important for students to experience leadership opportunities during their schooling to learn the art of building relationships within teams, defining identities, and achieving tasks effectively. when we talk to our teachers, when we talk to our parents and guardians. We use interpersonal skills. And so it's really important that you learn to get better at that. Because we know at this age, sometimes we don't always communicate the best, right? One of the activities that we did the very first day was how to use your eyes. How many of you did that activity in language arts? Or maybe the second day, how to use your eyes, communicate with your eyes. That is so important right now because you have a mask on. So, you may not think that you're doing anything, but if I'm talking to you, or your teacher's talking to you, or your parent or guardian is talking to you, and you roll your eyes, that might give them the impression that you don't care, or you're getting attitude, right? So it's really hard to control how our face looks, but we really need to be mindful about using our eyes for communication right now, because it's really the only thing that we can see. So we need to make sure that we're doing it appropriately and kindly. Also, every single one of you has the ability to be a leader. You have it inside of you to be a leader. You also have the choice to lead positively or negatively. Now, leading negatively might look like this. Hey friend, you want to come with me to the bathroom and let's not go to second period? Hey friend, I think it would be really funny to pop this milk carton and scare everybody at lunch. Hey friend, this might be really fun if we write something mean about the teacher on the desk and leave it for the next class. That is leading in a negative way. And that is not showing compassion, and that is not part of the Colts Way. That's very hurtful, and even though you may think it's funny to do any of those things, especially right now, it's not funny. Okay? When you do things that could impact other people in a negative way, I want you to go back and think about their story. Okay? When you're popping that milk carton at lunch, think about trauma that maybe somebody else has been through, and maybe loud noise is scaring them really bad right now. And you weren't meaning for that at all. You weren't meaning to be, make somebody scared. But we want everyone on this entire campus to feel safe and loved and be able to learn. So at this point, I want to talk about what a slur is. A slur is something that talks negatively about somebody for some reason. I'm not even going to repeat the words because I'm not going to give them that power. Okay? It's using words that can hurt somebody in any way based on the way they look, based on their religion, based on their ethnicity, based on their sexual orientation. Just don't do it. We have no tolerance for using slurs at this school. It is considered hate speech, and guys, I will suspend you. Even if you tell me the most used phrase I hear at River Heights Intermediate School is, I was just joking. I was just kidding. The words just don't come out of your mouth. Don't do it. It's hurtful. We don't have room at River Heights for hate. We don't have room to be mean and unkind. I will not tolerate it. So be kind. And I also want to say, there's words that you may use at home that you can't use at school. So maybe that's okay at your home or wherever you're at the park or something, but at school, we don't use those words. Okay? And if you need clarification on what a slur is, you can come talk to me or any other adult, and we can explain to you what that is. Okay? Go ahead, Mr. Perkins.
Mr. Earl, I'm so mad right now.
Hold up, Bird. What is going on?
Bernice took a picture of me today at school and used an app on her phone to make me look ugly. She printed it out and hung them up all over the school.
Okay, Bird. I know this seems bad.
Seems bad? If she thinks she is cool, I'm going to go online and say something mean about her.
Hold on, Bird. I thought you were a leader.
Leader? What does being a leader have to do with it?
Well, as a leader, even when things feel really bad, they use something called influence for good.
Influence? What is that?
Influence is having a way to change things or how people feel or what they do.
You mean like how my Granny Maxine makes me feel better by saying simple things and then I feel better?
Exactly. Your words have power in them. How you use them can build people up or tear them down. You don't want to waste them.
Really, Mr. Earl?
Really, Bird. Your words can change lives. Be careful with the words you say. There's an old saying that sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt me.
That is so not true, Mr. Earl. I feel like every day Bernice always has something mean to say about me, my clothes, or my hair.
And how does that make you feel?
It makes me feel awful, Mr. Earl.
So do you want to be known as someone who makes other people feel like Bernice does?
No way. I hate feeling like someone is picking on me all the time, and I don't want people to think that I do that kind of stuff.
I know it hurts when Bernice picks on you, but never try to pay someone back with evil. When someone does something bad to you, repay them back with goodness. And trust me, down the line, although Bernice may never change, your words and being a kind person to others will influence other kids to join the revolution and be kind to others.
You are right, Mr. Earl. I don't want to be that type of kid who goes around saying mean things or trying to hurt people's feelings. I'm going to be a better leader and be kind to others. Thanks for all your help.
You got it, little lady. And remember, kindness always wins. And I hope you had fun learning with F-R-E-S-P-E-R-G cartoon.
Thank you. So, how many of you have ever experienced someone saying something hurtful to you? Thank you for those of you who are being honest. I think that many of us have had hurtful things said about us. I think that many people have had things said to their face, said things behind their back, said things to other friends, said things on social media, and it always hurts. It's not okay to bring hurt upon others. We want a kindness revolution at River Heights, not a hurtful one. So if you are ever feeling like someone is being hurtful or someone is treating you poorly, you need to let an adult know. That's what we are here for. Our number one job is to keep you safe. If you are not safe emotionally and physically, you are not able to learn. That is science. Okay? So, I just want to make that point. We want you safe. We want you to have a voice, a kind voice, and we want to make sure that everyone understands clearly that hurtful words are not tolerated here. So, tenacious. Being tenacious is not giving up. I had a really hard time in math when I was in middle school. My brain, my frontal lobe was not developed yet, and I could not understand the concepts. But I didn't want to ask for help. I just wanted to struggle. And so when I got to high school, it was really hard to do math because I didn't understand in 7th grade, I didn't understand in 8th grade. So by the time I got to high school, I was in trouble. I needed a lot of tutoring. I needed a lot of help. I had to spend a lot of hours, which was hard for me because I played 3 sports. So I didn't have time to study. And then I got a job, and then I didn't have time to study. But you have to. You have to be tenacious. So, I want to show you a little video. I love this video. It shows exactly what being tenacious means and not giving up. So we just want you to be good in all things. Don't give up easily. Okay, try hard, and if you need help, it's okay to ask for help. Next slide. Thank you. So scholar, the word scholar literally refers to a person of learning, and the learning never stops. As educators and teachers, you may hear us say that we are lifelong learners. We learn just as much from you as you learn from us sometimes, and sometimes even more. How many of you, your parent, guardian, aunt, uncle, grandpa, grandma say, "Can you fix my phone?" Okay? How many of your grandma, grandpas, aunts, uncles, guardians, moms, dads, whoever you live with, say, "Can you turn on the TV? I don't know how to do this remote." Exactly. So you are always teaching us. And that's the blessing of having you guys. It's a reciprocal relationship. We learn just as much from you as you do from us. And so we want you to be lifelong learners. Go ahead and hit the video just like it. Thank you.
Scholar is a learner.
It's a person who doesn't accept failure and tries to become the better person of themselves.
It empowers us. When we think of a scholar, we think of someone who's pursuing their education farther than what they're actually doing. So we're pushing ourselves. We're setting higher expectations for ourselves than what like the district or what our teachers have for ourselves.
It makes me feel more advanced and be able to want to do more because I feel more motivated.
It sets the tone that we should never settle for anything less than what a scholar would attain for.
It makes me feel more motivated, like I have a bright future compared to just being someone who sits in a classroom and has to go to school every day.
It makes me feel like I can do anything.
So, how many of you got to see in one of your classes the PowerPoint about the Colts cash? Awesome. How about the Colts crowd? So, we have a way where you can earn Colts cash and earn lots of different prizes in the Colts crowd. And how many of you got to fill out the online survey about what you want to see in the Colts crowd? Alright? Lots of things, lots and lots of really cool things. And you don't need any cash. The only way you can earn your Colts cash is by following the Colts Way. There's a couple of ways to show leadership, and that is, one, every Wednesday is college day. Wear your favorite college wear spirit shirt. So, my favorite place to get college wear is Savers, Goodwill, and the Salvation Army. They have awesome college wear stuff. Sometimes they even have the jerseys, and they're like $2.99. Make sure you wash it first, okay? You may have college wear that your parents have, that your guardians have, that your brothers or sisters maybe even have. Ask if you can borrow it, and wear your college spirit wear stuff every Wednesday, and you will get Colts cash. Also, every Friday is RHIS Spirit Day. Wear your RHIS Spirit attire and green or yellow. I see lots of RHIS music. I see lots of Colts Way sweatshirts. Thank you for supporting our PE program. And lots of music. See lots of good stuff. Thank you. We will be giving out Colts cash, so thank you so much. It's not money like back in elementary school, okay? It's electronic now. We don't want you to be touching stuff. Yes? Any country, any college is okay. It just can't have anything that says something inappropriate. But absolutely, that would be amazing. I've never seen that college shirt. So if they go back, can I get me one? If they go here again, can I get one? Okay, cool. I love it. That would be amazing. Yes, any country, anywhere, of course. We celebrate all cultures and kindness. Okay, clap. So, keep up to date on things. You guys should know all of this. There's a website, Colts News, Colts Connection, School Messenger. Next time. Back to school night is virtual, and it is on Monday. Virtual. We want to keep all of our Students, staff safe, so it will be virtual. You will be getting more information on that soon. I just wanted to let you know it's Monday, all right? The Colts Way. The Colts Way, you should see this in every single classroom. These are actual ways to show how you can exemplify and follow the Colts Way. We expect you to act a certain way when you're in the classroom or the library. We have expectations on how you should act in the classroom. We have expectations of how you should act in PE and in the locker rooms. And very importantly, we have expectations of how you should act when you are in the community. We want to make sure that when people in the community, they say, man, those River Heights kids, they say please and thank you. They clean up their trash. They really are amazing, outstanding Colts students. Because we love to be proud of you. And all of you are amazing. You know that. Next one. There are a few reminders that we do want to go over with all of you to make sure that everybody understands what is going on here at River Heights, because we do have those high expectations for you. Make sure you arrive at school on time and teach class on time every single day. We want to make sure that there's no, messing around anywhere, any poor choices being made. Get right to class. Come to school prepared with all of their materials and assignments completed. That looks different now. Everybody has a Chromebook. That means you need to make sure you're charging it every night. You need to make sure you know where your plug-in and your charger is. You need to bring your Chromebook to school when your teachers are asking you to. Things look so different. So make sure that you are getting prepared every single night the proper way. Also, we want you to show respect to yourself, peers, teachers, and or any staff member. So, remember I talked about the communication with your eyes? Right? How many of you, and you don't have to raise your hand, how many of you have gotten in trouble with your parent or guardian for rolling your eyes? You don't have to raise your hand, it's okay. Because I think it's 100%, right? It's just something that we do to our parents sometimes. Or you don't do it because you know what can happen, right? Exactly. So, we definitely don't want you to roll your eyes to your teachers or your staff members, anyone on this campus, our lunch ladies, our custodians. We want you to be respectful. No class disruptions. You're here to learn. We want you focused, we want you ready, and we want you to learn. We want you to respect all school property. What that looks like is when you're out at lunch, you can put your own trash, okay? When you're out at lunch, you throw away, if you see anything that's around it, you put it in the trash can. Our custodians work really hard to make sure that our school looks amazing. This week I've seen a few things happening. I've seen some science creations being made. I've seen some milk being thrown. Let's not do that. That just makes more work for our custodians, and they already work really hard. So please show respect to our campus by picking up trash. The blue cans out there that have the right lids, those are for recycle. So if you bring a bottle of water and you want to recycle your bottle, make sure you put it in the recycle bin, please. Follow CNUSA dress code guidelines. Guys, this week was kind of just a reminder that ladies, we do not want to see tummies. Next week, we will start handing out what we call loners. That is going to be a Ramirez t-shirt that has a big red X on it, and you will wear that around campus if we wear something that is inappropriate. Ladies and gentlemen, if you wear a shirt that is inappropriate, that would be something that says something hateful, that has a weapon on it, that promotes violence, that has something that is not acceptable on it. You too will be wearing a loner shirt, okay? We don't want to have to do that. You don't want to wear that. Just please be very conscientious. If you have that shirt and you love that shirt, we call that a Saturday and Sunday shirt. You can wear it on Saturday and Sunday, but not in school. Yes?
This also applies for getting
PE will talk about different learners. They're different learners, but great point. Thank you. All right, Mr. Kemp. So, I hope this is a no-brainer one. No physical or verbal fighting, use of force, harassment, intimidation, or bullying of anyone. This is where we talk about see something, say something. If you are seeing something, you need to let an adult know. Now, this is not elementary school. This is not where we run up to the teacher and say, Mrs. Bell, he's doing this. Okay? That is not a big thing to do in middle school. I'm just going to let you know. Okay? But what you can do is quietly go up to any teacher and just say, hey, I saw Mrs. Bell getting yelled at or pushed or shoved, or they were not saying very nice things, and I just kind of wanted to let you know. That is totally appropriate, okay? We don't want you to be called anything. We don't want anybody to be saying, oh, you did this, oh, you did that. No, we want to protect you, but we also need everyone here to be safe. Okay? So, if you see something, you need to say something. Please. Use of electronic and social media appropriately. Mr. Clement already touched on that. I just hope that you use it appropriately. No use of profane, vulgar, obscene language or gestures. Again, no use of racial, ethnic, religious, gender, or sexual orientation slurs. They will not be tolerated. Even if you tell me I was just joking, I was just kidding. It doesn't matter. Words hurt, and they can't be taken back. So be very mindful and careful of what you say. No weapons of any kind or anything that could be considered dangerous at school. If you're not sure, please ask someone. If you're not sure, don't bring it. Just don't bring it. And finally, I know this is the hardest one because for a year this has been your best friend. It has been your confidant. It has been everything to you. But when you walk in the door when I do my mask check, off and away all day. It needs to be in your pocket or it needs to be in your bag. I don't want to see it sitting on the lunch table. One, because I don't want it to get broken, dropped, lost, taken. Two, I know that some of you, I can't tell you how many times I've heard, but I just need to check the time. We have this amazing thing in the middle of the quad called a clock tower. If you don't know how to read the clock tower, now's the time to learn, okay? Or you can ask an adult. But you don't need to pull out your phone to check the time. We will give you the time if you need it, okay? Phones off and away all day, unless your teacher specifically says, this is an activity where you can turn on your phone. Of course, your teacher is in charge of the classroom. However, no phones off. If you have a family emergency, if you have something that you need to communicate to your family, you let an adult know, they will take you to the office and they will have you call. But I promise, while you are here at school, you are safe and there is no reason for you to have a cell phone on for disruption. What? Okay, if you have your schedule on your phone, I'm hoping by the fourth day, unless you have your schedule, you know your schedule. If you need your schedule printed out, you can ask anyone, or if you need to wait, and Mr. Clement or I will help you get your schedule printed. For the first few days, we understood you needed your phone for your schedule, but by the fourth day, we're really hoping that you know your schedules. Yes. That you would need to ask Mr. Hartland. I believe that is part of his strategy, not having a clock so that you're focusing on music and not on the clock. But you can ask him. Yes. Hold on. Because our policy is no phones, and we find that we like to talk to each other. Thank you. That's a great question. We want you talking to each other rather than texting each other. We think talking and communicating that way is very important. Thank you. Your teachers will dismiss you by class. Thank you.
This is Mrs. Sanchez again. Thank you so much for joining us. It was an absolute pleasure, and I hope that everyone learned something very important about our River Heights family. Make it a great day the Colts way.